Hi, and welcome back. My name is Diane Gutierrez, and this is my YouTube channel where I love to talk about all things scrapbooking. And I like to create scrapbook layouts and hopefully inspire you to do the same. So today, what I want to talk about is I wanted to do some scrapbooking of a field trip my daughter had went on when she was in 4th grade. And they went to this adobe house and they made adobe bricks and they made tamales from scratch. So I wanted to do these pictures because I got this brand new field fence punch and this oak tree punch, and I wanted to use those. And so it reminded me of this time when we went on this field trip. We are in California, so oak trees are our state's tree. I don't think we're necessarily going to see any in these photos, but I'm going to sprinkle them around my layout. And the reason I wanted to use the field fence is because of this fence here in the background. It really reminded me of that property that we were on that day. And funny thing is, I'm probably going to end up cutting most of that out. So I'm really going to need to accent this field fence to bring back that memory of that ranch we were on. Okay, so what I've decided is it's going to be a 1-page layout, and I'm going to have 4 photos on it. And I'm going to use this paper from the Wanderlust collection because it kind of looks to me like maybe an older newspaper print. That would be perfect for the background. So my plan for the pictures is I do want my daughter, here she is making, smashing the corn for homemade tamales. So I want that here. And then I'll be cutting this one down to probably a 4x4. This one I can't really show because it has some other children in it that I don't have permission to show. And then this one will also be a 4x4. Okay, I might be trimming this one down a little. Okay, so that's kind of like my layout is going to look like. So it's going to be, all the photos will be at the top. So I want to put down here a border, and that's where my field fence and my oak tree will come in. First thing is I want to bring in my decorative trimmer. I want to use the hilly looking one to make some hills. And I'm going to bring in this scrap paper from the Welcome Home collection. This came from the Welcome Home Tone on Tone. And these papers, the Wanderlust and the Welcome Home, are coordinating packs of paper, so they go very well together. Okay, so first thing is I do want to trim off okay, let's see here. So we'll have something, let me scoot those up. Let's see, we need, this one I'm going to have overlapping a little actually. Okay, so that looks like about enough. My field fence, I have a sample here of my field fence. I am going to do mine in white, but I have a sample. So I'm kind of seeing how much room I have. And okay, so I need about that much. Let me get a little pencil and mark it. Bring in the trimmer. Find my mark here. Okay. So if you want to follow along, this is about a 2-inch strip, okay? So I will put that toward the bottom. Again, my photos will go something like this. And this one I don't have a problem if it does overlap. Okay, and then next I'll bring in the field fence border. And I'm going to use white cardstock for that. So just to remind you, this is a border, so I'm going to start right here on the black line. They give us a little guide so we know where to start. You punch down and then you slide forward to line it up. And there's our fence. Okay, so put our graphs back, and our fence will go something like that. See, that really gives me the feel of what it was like there with that white fence in the back. Okay, then I also want to bring in the wildflower punch. This again is another border punch. That's still, all the punches that I'm going to use today are still currently available. Okay, so I have this green piece of scrap. Let me move that out of the way for a minute so I don't have to clean that up so much. Okay, same thing as before. I'm going to line it up to the black dots, and I'll punch this one out. Let's trim this. And I just need a little bit to stick out. So this will be a 1-inch trim, I think. No, we'll make it about a 1.5 inch. Okay. Okay, so it'll go something like this. I still want to see my heels in the back. So yeah, it'll go like that. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to trim my photos. Again, this one's going to stay horizontal and as a 4x6. It's just basically these two that I'm going to cut. I'm going to bring my plastic mat out. So here they're in this mud pit making adobe bricks because we were at an adobe house seeing how they did it back in gold rush times. It's funny if you see all the shadows of the parents off to the side, but we're going to take care of that right now. And yep, I'm going to do a 4-inch cut. Okay, this one I'm okay if it's touching a little bit. I'm just going to trim off a little bit on the top here, but not too much. And then this one again is a 4-inch cut. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to slide it over. I'm using my little clear mat here. Like this person, you definitely can't see her. So I'm just going to, I'd rather get more of this big pit and at the sacrifice of chopping her off. So I'll do that. Make it a little smaller actually. There we go. And then make it a 4x4. See, a lot of 4x6 photos could be chopped into a 4x4 pretty easily. Okay, so it's gonna go like that. I'm gonna tuck everything a little closer together because I want to get out my oak trees. So here's what the oak tree punch is gonna look like. And I'm definitely gonna have some down here, probably even overlapping the picture here. And then up here, I have this old die cut. It was a long landscape die cut, but it had this house. And so I cut off the rest of it, and I'm just gonna slide it right under there because we were visiting the adobe house and I want to represent that. So that's perfect for that. And then I'll probably make some more trees and at least put 1 or 2 up here with the house as well. So let's make some trees. Okay. So with the tree punch, scoot this up a little bit. With the tree punch, I basically made 2. I made a green one and a brown one, and then I just trimmed off the bottom of the green one. So let me show you. This is just a regular decorative punch. I like to turn mine over so I could see my paper in there, so I can try and conserve as much paper as possible. Okay, so even though I've punched this several times, you could see some oil came out on that. I'm going to put it aside though. I actually might be able to still use it because I just want the trunk. So all these punches, they oil them up before they send them out so that they punch nicely, but I thought I had done that enough times to not worry about Okay, so here's one. I think I'm gonna do 2 up there. Now let's do some green. Okay, so what I do basically is I'm just going to take one of these trees, snip off on the green ones. I'm going to snip off the trunk part, clean it up really nice, and then I'm going to use my repositionable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I line it up so I know which side it's going to be on top, because see, it won't fit the other way. Oops. And then I'm going to put some repositional on the back and layer up the tree. And so now I have a green oak tree. Okay, and I'm going to do that for all of these that I just cut. Move some of this aside, and I'll probably put the oak tree like that, overlapping that photo. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to adhere everything down. I do want to put my title right up here, and I found this die cut in my stash that says Old Time, and I thought that was going to be perfect for this old time house that we went to visit. So I still have to kind of decide on where I'm going to put my journaling. So I'm just kind of moving things around here to see if I have probably a little spot down here. If I moved everything up, I could then put some journaling right there. So I don't have too much room on here. So let me adhere down the border. I'm going to think about matting these. I'm not sure I want to do that, but I'm going to take a moment to kind of think about that while I'm adhering everything down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything adhered down. I really like my fence area down here with my oak trees. It really, to me, is bringing back the feel of how it was that day out there on the ranch. So like I was saying, everything is adhered down except for my title. And I really don't have a lot of room to embellish on this page. So what I did was I cut out some greenery with my die cut machine, and I thought I would do something like that up there, but I'm probably gonna snip it a little bit. Let's see here. I think what I'm gonna do is actually snip it like that, bring them together underneath, and then I'll be able to pull it out however I want. So this is a pretty full layout, something like that. Yep, I like it. I tried to have my trees coming out here, touching the photo, my trees here touching the photos, so that everything is kind of cohesive. You'll also notice that I did a mat behind the 2 smaller photos. So my mat is 4 by 4, and I just trimmed my pictures down another 1/4 of an inch each. So I wanted those on a mat, but not the 4 by 6s. Okay, I think the last thing I'm gonna do, maybe some journaling here. I'm not sure, like I said, it's pretty tight. The only other thing I'm gonna add is I found this little blue butterfly in my stash, and I thought I had so much blue up here that I would add the little butterfly right over there. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to do some journaling off camera. I'll adhere that down, and I will show you some close-ups at the end. And again, I used the brand new field fence and the oak tree and the wildflower punch. So if you like those punches, go ahead and go over to Creative Memories website. You can use my link if you don't already have an advisor, or you can ask your advisor about them. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.